Good morning. Today is Sunday, June the 25th, and our lesson this morning is Samson Call. Samson's Call. We have, throughout the week, we have went back and talked about Samson uh, coming close, how he was, the things he went through, the light of his death in which he died. We talked about many things on Samson. The announcement of Samson's birth. We did that in Judges 13, 8 through 18. We talked about his acceptance, the acceptance of manna's sacrifice, how his father uh, gave a sacrifice unto the Lord uh, with the angel of the Lord that came to them. We also talked about, and that was, that was in Judges 13, 19 to 23. We also talked about the Nazarite vow that was in Numbers. We missed several of these lessons this week, I'm sorry to say. That was in Numbers 6, 1 through 8, and 13 through 17. That was a good lesson speaking on teaching us what the Nazarite vow entailed. Also, in this week's lesson was Samson and the woman of Timnath, uh, the woman that he chose to be his wife, the Philistine, how he stepped outside his boundaries um, to find someone, to pick someone to be his wife, and how his mother and father, as he came to them in honor of them, uh, telling them that this is the woman that he wanted to marry and for them to make the arrangements. He was stepping outside of the family of the Israelites, in which his father and mother didn't approve of. But the Lord knew that all this was to come about, and it was a foretelling of how Samson would uh, bring about a change and help make a difference for the Israelites that was in bondage to the Philistines for so many years because of their disobedience. On Friday, the lesson was Samson's war against the Philistines, and that was in Judges 15, 1 through 8. And that was speaking on how Samson uh, pledged a war over the nation of the Philistines because the father of the wife that he had chose uh, had given her to someone else because Samson had left and they thought he didn't want her. So they gave her to someone else, and Samson became angry and he plagued a war and he destroyed their crops. And so when they found out what had happened, they killed the woman and the father uh, because Samson had did this. Now we get to the main point of the lesson for this week, which is Samson's call. And our lesson is coming from Judges 13, 1 through 7, and 24, at verse 24 through 25. The text says, read Judges 13, 1 through 16, uh, and 31. Time about 1050 BC. Place Zorah. Our golden text, our main verse for the session is, "Thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistine." Judges 13 and 5. This is a powerful verse in itself here, speaking on that the mother would conceive and bear a child and how she would bring him up, and that he was not to have his hair cut in any fashion, and he was to be a Nazarite from birth, and he would be a Nazarite until his death. Uh, he would be sanctified and pulled aside unto the Lord. It's such a powerful, uh, but it says also one of the more important things in that verse is that he was to begin to it said he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistine. It was not to end with him. It was not to be him that brought them out, but he would be the beginning of the Philistines losing control over the Israelites. The scripture lesson text reads, "And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Philistines 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manah, and his wife was barren, and bare not. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold now, thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive, and bear a son. Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive, and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name. But he said unto me, Behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing, for the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. And the woman bare a son, and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times in the camp of Dan, between Zor and Eshtaol. Amen. This is a great and powerful lesson. First of all, it begins with letting us know that the children of Israel had been in bondage for over 40 years, and that the Lord was about to bring about a change, that they would begin to move out of bondage under the Philistines, and it would become through Samson, the child that was to be born. And said, then in the second verse, and there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Mona, and his wife was barren and bare not. But the most important thing it says, and the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren. He lets her know that God knows her situation. God knows your situation, where you're at, and what's going on in your life. He knows what's going on, and he is able to make a change. But as you realize, Samson must be born, he must grow up, and then become a way out for the Israelites. Look at the time frame. We quickly, if we don't get our prayers answered overnight, we feel that the Lord don't hear us. If we realize that the Lord's timing is never our timing, and that because it doesn't happen today and it doesn't happen tomorrow, it doesn't mean that he's not listening and that he's not with us. And said, Now therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink. She had to begin to get ready now. She had to begin to make a change now. We ask the Lord for different things in our life, and we have to begin now to make that change, to be ready for what the Lord has for us. We have to make that move. We have to make that stand. And so as we do this, the Lord is able to bring about that change, to bring about that need that we are asking for. As for lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come upon his head. This lesson has so much entailed in it. I don't have the time that I would love to have to expound upon this lesson. So for lo, thou shalt conceive. Now that you are getting ready, now that your body is being worked into shape, your mind is being changed, then you can know the difference of what the Lord is doing for you, and that he is answering your prayer. Also, I continue on. It said, "For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come upon his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb. And he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines." Now, after the child is born and the child grows up to be a young man, then he will begin uh, uh, to bring the Israelites out of the bondage of the Philistines. And said, then the woman came and told her husband, and she said when she saw him, she knew it was something different about him. She knew it was something special about him, and that the Lord was moving and working in this might. Um, this is a great lesson that we have this morning. I pray that you meditate on this wonderful lesson, and y'all have a great and blessed day.